here's how it's going to work, Precious. You know something you aren't supposed to, and I need to find out what. So we can sit here all day, reminiscing about current affairs and the like. Or we can get down to business. What's it going to be?
To be totally frank here, I think you're out of your mind.
Out of my mind? Me? I'm not the one who slid open a condensed data stream from an unregistered remote terminal. And on top of that, I certainly didn't scan the sonic footprints of each key link to sort out who was who. So if you ask me, I'd say you're the one who's out of his bloody mind.
And it sounds like you're completely familiar with the information I ascertained from the conference stream. And why are you asking?
Because around here, I'm paid a top dollar to find out what people know. But I'm paid even more to make people forget. Or maybe it's to make the world forget about you. I always get the two mixed up.
Don't strain yourself.
And I think it's time we cut right to the chase. What do you know about IGN?
Please don't bother talking in code. It's pretty obvious why I'm here.
All right then.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 50.
No
Podcast
way.
Beyond. That is episode 50.
Podcast Beyond
That's gotta
episode
be a
50.
typo.
FG Barbecue.
BBQ.
The big 5-0, this is it.
Golden episode.
We've been
It's so
podcasting.
big we don't have to go to work tomorrow.
We've been
Yeah.
podcasting
check
for
that out.
5 decades.
Yeah.
Beyond.
No, that's not what that means.
Oh,
Nice
it's not?
Maybe 50 years, not 50 episodes. Because we do this every week.
Gotcha.
Right.
So this has been, we've missed a week or two in there. So actually looking back at the schedule, I didn't think to do this beforehand. This may be the exact anniversary of the first week that we did it.
Really?
But I don't remember. Well, I mean, if it's 50 weeks,
Uh-huh.
oh no, but there was like holiday time that we didn't
True.
do.
Yeah.
So we're probably off by a couple weeks. So
Talk about
our actual
celebrating.
1-year anniversary was probably a couple weeks ago.
We've done really
But-
well.
Yeah.
I think we're the best channel, or for sure, best channel-specific podcast as far as terms of making sure we have it every week.
Yeah, I think we've
close
really
to.
only missed one, maybe two.
Typically when we haven't been
And,
together.
It's usually when there's like one person in the
One person.
office, everybody's
Yeah.
at an event.
So we've been pretty good about that. So today's episode 50. The whole crew is here. I am Chris Ripper, the host and editor-in-chief of the IGN PlayStation team.
Woo!
Greg Miller is here.
Hi.
Jeff Haynes is here.
Go Beyond.
And Ryan Clements is here.
I'm here as well.
We're all here.
Yes.
So let's get the show started with the 50th edition, although it didn't start right away, I guess, of the Roper Report.
Time for some news. Beyond.
So, you got to keep doing that 50 thing the entire episode. It's pretty awesome. I just imagine, what was her name? Mary Catherine Gallagher from SNL. She's like, 50. It's pretty good, and it smells her armpit. So let's see. A lot of this has to do with one particular subject, which I imagine everybody can guess. But one-off piece of news is that unfortunately for David Duell, SOCOM was delayed.
No.
Very close to a month. It is now coming out October 14th instead of September 16th.
Pushed right back into the alleged time frame for Ghostbusters. Doesn't look good for SOCOM.
And also alleged time frame for Little Big Planet.
Indeed.
So it's bumping up against
Is
that
it
one.
October? I thought that was September.
I think it's October.
Maybe I'm wishful thinking on that one.
Either way, it's
ready for that game, Jeff.
either way,
I
it's
think
within
so.
a couple weeks.
Okay, cool.
It's at the end of the month.
I'll
at
give
least
it to
in
you.
the UK.
I'll give you that.
I feel you.
Then everything else about this 50th anniversary edition of Roper Report has to do with the 2.40 firmware, which came out the other day
Rock.
and then got taken away.
What?
Oh.
So apparently, 2.4 came out, has custom soundtrack support of games added, has trophies in there, has in-game cross-media bar.
But it'll kill your parents.
It'll kill at least your PlayStation 3 apparently. So according to polls on our boards, it looks like say about 10% or so. That was from like an early part of it. But anyway, not most users, but a significant number are having problems with the update. Jeff, you couldn't even install it at one point, right?
Yeah, came to the office, tried installing it. It kept bouncing back and forth for about, 6-7 tries, and then finally managed to work.
Yeah. So
Happened to me once at home when I tried to do it at midnight, but I assumed it was just, server error.
Yeah, that's better than some users who are not able to use their PS3 at all anymore after the update.
We got a couple. We got the one email in our box today saying from a kid who said that it corrupted his hard drive.
Yep, and then apparently if you swap out the hard drive, it'll fix it, but that means you need to go buy another hard drive.
Yeah,
and
or reformat it on your PC or something like that.
Yeah, and Sony hasn't, which means you lose all your saves.
Yep.
But Sony hasn't figured out what they're going to do about all this yet. It's supposedly to be fixed. Ignoring the fact that it's totally broken right now, a couple other news revolving trophies is we'll get to the actual trophy stuff in a little bit, more specifics on this. But the newsworthy parts is that Insomniac, surprisingly to us all, I would assume, has announced that they're not planning to support any trophies at this point in time.
What?
For backwards, right?
For backwards, yeah. Resistance 2 will.
Yeah,
but
the original Resistance and Ratchet and Clank, they said we're not going to patch anything.
Exactly. At least not right now.
Insanity.
I mean, is it really insanity? I didn't expect that many people from the past to adopt it.
Well, I did, because here's my thing, is with Resistance 2 coming out, you say, we're going to patch Resistance 1 with trophies, give people a reason to go back and play the game again. Then you say, oh, I just played it again, I remember how good it was, let me go buy Resistance 2.
And it's also like good prep too for the sequel coming out. So it's like, hey, find the full like story and get your trophy count. By the way,
and Insomniac is such a good supporter of the PS3 that you'd figure they would have been one of the first people on board to go back and patch some stuff.
Although maybe they're so focused on getting Resistance 2 like out of the gate that like they're gonna go back and do it at a later time.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think they might go back and do things after Resistance 2.
After that final push is done, they could go back.
That is possible. But on the flip side, other huge PlayStation supporters, Criterion Games,
I've heard of them.
Is going to add trophies to Burnout Paradise.
Oh snap!
Not in the very next update that's coming, the codename Cagney deal, but in a one farther down the line, they're going to add trophy support.
Codename Bogart.
No, yeah, something like that. Anyway,
what about the hawk that is war?
Oh, and we'll get to the. Yeah, actually, I guess Warhawk did announce that there's going to be something there. Yeah, I thought that was part of the original release, which we were going to get to in a later segment.
Yeah.
But
we have a story up today.
Yeah, but so. Yeah, we'll sort of tie these two together. But Warhawk is also going to have trophies backwards compatible, patched to go back and fix that. And in Warhawk's case, it's going to have something that's not going to happen in most other games. Is they're actually going to be about 10 of the 50 some odd trophies in the game will actually be retroactive. And these are the things. So here's the deal: is if trophies can't really be retroactive because otherwise you could copy a save game, somebody else has finished the game, and boot up trophies, and all of a sudden you get credit for all of it for not doing anything. But a game like Warhawk, where some of your stats are saved online, and you're earning rankings or whatever on there, the game could go in and look and say, well, obviously you're the only one that could have earned this, so you get the trophies for it. So the stuff that you would do in a specific game, get 10 kills or whatever in one match, or all those things you have to do again. But the stuff that's
like
online,
rank promotions,
all those things, you'll get trophies for those. Which is
they
pretty
don't
cool.
have to reset the servers for it,
Exactly.
which is a good thing.
So other games that have stuff like that, which not been announced for, but say you had like Call of Duty or something, they could implement that sort of thing in that. That's all the news for today. There wasn't a whole lot this past week. E3's coming up very quick, so it's trophy week pretty much. But E3's right around the corner. They're going to announce a bunch of new games. They're going to show off a bunch of stuff you can buy later on this fall. But there's still games coming out these days.
Were there? Are there?
I think that there are. Stores are still selling new titles.
Impressive.
Let me dust off the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all three platforms by the IGN editors. 50! PS3 got Hail to the Chimp. Guitar Hero Aerosmith.
Can you actually say that with a straight face?
No, I couldn't.
I don't think so.
Super Stardust got a patch thingamajig 2 for add-on content. PSP got nothing. PS2 got Guitar Hero Aerosmith.
That was okay. Pick of the week. There's not much to pick from on there. There's not really much to choose from on this list.
No. Well, I think it's a clear.
Wow.
Well,
Start.
you haven't reviewed Hail to the Chimp yet, right?
Not for the PS3 one. I have to go find it in the store. I reviewed the 360 one. I hate the game.
Okay.
So not that one.
Okay.
It might have to be Stardust because of the
I
trophy.
think the
Trophies?
expansion
I think
and
it's
the
facelift.
plus the trophies makes it
I think that's probably the thing.
viable pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like to call out Guitar Hero Aerosmith because I think it's a cheap way for them to try to make some money.
Yeah.
If the game had been $40, different story maybe. 60, no.
Yeah.
No good for
Not
that.
good.
So they lose by default. So I think we're going to have to go. Yeah, we'll go with Super Stardust.
Sweet.
What is the name of that expansion?
Just team expansion.
Team
Just this
expansion, there you
team
go.
expansion, yeah.
But
But
the
you-
other part is, can you actually find it? Because some people couldn't. I mean,
You have to find it
showed
on the
Ryan.
in-game store.
Right, but I showed Ryan my
Yep,
system, and it wasn't
some
there.
people have been having trouble connecting. I think maybe they didn't want to put it up then. They maybe wanted to put it up today. So perhaps people will be able to see it in the PlayStation Store update today.
There you go.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
50. All right, habanero.
So that
Not
was
too shabby.
that was pick of the week 50.
Pity.
Let's get on with a topic of the week, which
Topic of the week. It's fitty. It's fitty topics of the week.
topic of the week. Obviously, this week is going to be trophies, 2.4, and all the crap that came with it. Obviously, as we just mentioned, there's major issues with people getting their systems boned by 2.4, which is no good whatsoever. Now, here's my problem with the whole systems crashing thing: is had this been something where like a user had 7 games circumstantially installed, and there was like, if you had exactly 1.3 gigs of space left, and this error happened, okay, fine, totally crazy for them to have caught, but it's happening so often on so many different systems that it seems like it's something they should have caught. And more to the point is when Greg and I, when we went and saw the thing last Friday, they gave us the demo 2.4, they wouldn't tell us when it was coming out because they weren't quite sure. And then they announced it Monday morning, which means they're running up to the wire on this thing. They're like, are we going to get it done for next week? We don't know, blah, blah, blah. It seems to me like this was a rush job, and they just kind of shoved it out before it was finished. And other people were having other problems that weren't crashing systems. Like, Ryan, you think that, or you say that you earned a trophy at home.
Right.
That
And
when you
then
logged in here, it didn't transfer over.
Exactly. It didn't show up, so I actually had to earn it again for some reason, which was fine then, but still, I shouldn't have to re-earn my trophies.
Yeah, especially if it's a huge one.
Exactly.
You know.
Luckily, it was a small one, but still.
Yeah.
Wasn't part of it because like the syncing between like the trophies and your profile was just like so out of sync? I mean, like you'd have to wait a couple minutes for it to actually register, or you'd have to quit a game for it to register. And
Yeah,
I had that. On Friday night when I was playing Super Stardust, Ryan was on too. We were both doing it right away, and I'd unlock trophies, and I would then do the in-game friends list to compare to see if he had them, and it would show that I didn't have any. It would show he didn't. But when I quit out of Super Stardust, it updated mine, and then it updated his too. But then we got to the office in the morning, and I told Roper about this, and he had no problem checking them as they happened in game.
For a little bit.
Oh, really?
But then, no, I could see them on the profile, but not in my in-game list or something like that.
Okay.
And then eventually stopped working, and I had to quit to have it show up again.
I see.
So it was real hit or miss. So, I mean, it worked in the morning, so obviously it can work. It looked like, anyway, but then it didn't later on because the whole thing's busted.
Could be that they just didn't have the servers set up for like the flood of people playing Super Stardust.
Yeah.
So in other words, wait for 2.41.
Yes.
Most
wait for-
likely.
Well, you have to now.
Yeah. You
'Cause
can't.
it's not there
'cause you
anymore.
can't get 2.40. And
I'm still happy to have it.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think.
I would
it's
have been pissed if it, crashed the
bricked
system
your-
and bricked my hard
system.
drive, and I lost the 50 Super SingStar songs I've downloaded at home. But
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck.
But I mean, overall, I think the trophy thing's pretty cool.
yeah,
I like it a lot.
I'm really
Yes.
sick of playing Stardust.
And
I'm ready for
whatever.
Game 2 to have trophies already.
Yeah,
infinite.
Sony really needed to have 2 or 3 games, not just one at launch for trophy support. They could have put
You'd
it in
think.
numerous other titles. Calling All Cars, man.
Oh,
Calling
man.
All Cars.
That's
trophies
what it
Calling All
needs,
Cars
too.
would've been awesome.
Technically,
That
wasn't,
game is awesome, and no one plays it anymore.
wasn't
Yeah.
Pain supposed to have it too? I mean, like,
It's
granted, there's-
going to, they say. It's
Yeah,
going to.
I mean, like, it seems like there's a lot of them, especially the PSN games. They could have just flooded it with.
It's Pain, of course. So, I mean,
Well, that's
they're
what I'm
going to
saying, like-
update it with the ability to look at pictures of trophies.
Right.
And then the next update will have you able to have the trophy.
For the community, could probably.
Then they're
break
going to talk about how it should be on YouTube, and then it'll never happen.
And then they'll have a T-shirt with a trophy on it.
Yeah.
Right.
As the trophy. So
You can
yeah.
buy the
Insert
trophy T-shirt.
trophy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of readers that are writing to us and saying, why can't custom soundtracks don't work?
Yeah, they didn't really
Yeah.
read your article all the way through.
Yeah, I think that was the problem. But I think some people were missing the fact that custom soundtracks have to be added, like the trophies have to be added into a game.
It's basically
So
like
if
the infrastructure is there now for developers to use.
Right.
And
It's a
they
seed
choose
that's
not
been
to.
planted, but now
But it
people need to
doesn't
water
automatically
it
work.
and then eat the bananas.
Exactly. So you have to go back and fix that. As far as particular trophies go, I think that the Super Stardust stuff has kind of the same issues that the first batch of Xbox Live games did,
Yeah.
or just Xbox 360 games did, where you can put the game on easy and earn a good half of the trophies, which is kind of cheap. I think there should have been, or at least they should
For
have
every
had.
planet, you can do that, yeah.
Yeah, or at least there should have been, and you can do it with a lot of the other things, getting the 5 shields and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm fine if you can do that kind of stuff on easy, but there should also be stuff that you'd have to do on hard, so you also get another, like Guitar Hero, you have easy, medium, hard, and expert.
Yeah.
If you did something along those lines, that'd be cool. But
It's
oh,
taste,
well.
it's tidbit.
Yeah,
but like,
Appetizer.
people are always
Slow
going
taste.
to game any system like that. Whenever there's like achievements to be gotten or trophies to be earned, people are always going to figure out a way of gaming it.
yeah,
I'll game it.
What?
I'll game it all night long.
game at 50. But
Smack it up, flip it, rub it down, and game it.
yeah. Jeez, what is going on?
I got the energy of 50 shows. Of course
It's gonna be a special one. Turn down your speakers.
Oh man. Has anybody actually made any use of the cross media bar stuff yet?
Just to message people.
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to message people now.
Comes in pretty handy. I
had a Beyond listener the other day when I was playing Stardust asking me how I was getting specific achievements or whatever, and it was easy just to go back and forth talking to him. Yeah. It really makes me now for sure want to buy a wireless keyboard for home.
Really?
Because at home I'll get messages and I won't try to respond to them, and then when I get to here, like the PSN doesn't, it saves those messages to your hard drive, so I get here and I don't have those messages anymore. But at my desk I have a keyboard connected to my PS3.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a good cheap wireless keyboard they can think of, email Ryan Clements.
I didn't realize the messages were saved to your drive. Like you downloaded them and then it wasn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can't open them up on multiple systems.
And it's not. It's the problem is that it's not even like if you message me at home right as I was getting off.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't read it, it would still save to that hard drive. So it's like there's no benefit for me once I'm on at home and it happens. It happens.
Right. I guess for most people that doesn't matter.
No, yeah. For most people, don't have to worry about it at all.
But if you have an F2 or something, yeah.
You boned. F'd in the B.
Yeah, there you go. Anybody have anything else to add to this this business here?
I'm looking forward to seeing what other trophies are coming up. I want to add to my collection.
Oh yeah, so let's go over that bit. Wait, go ahead, Jeff.
Although, I think the one thing which is kind of interesting, especially with Stardust, is the whole thing that's kind of been going off on the boards about paying for your achievements. Because I think with something like Stardust, where you can essentially always pump out an expansion pack and then add new trophies and new trophy rankings, part of it's going to be like, when the hell will somebody ever get a platinum for Stardust, if it's even possible? I mean,
well, the way they made it sound when me and Rope met with them is that they have a specific pool of points they can draw from. So I don't think they can keep going. But I think in this instance they did, because the first thing I did is I went off and bought 2 expansion packs I never would have bought before.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is like, God knows how many expansions Housemarque actually plans on putting out with Stardust.
Yeah, but
the difference is have to add on to the pool point. If they decided to add another expansion.
If they did, I think it would have to be you'd have your Super Stardust trophies, then you'd have Super Stardust, the Ron's Clement pack, and then
I think that's what would have to happen because on the 360 you can add extra achievements if the expansion pack warrants it, but it's like a separate listing. And I think that the only reason that you're seeing trophies in some of the expansions for Super Stardust right now is because everything hit at one time. So it wasn't like you had trophies for some stuff, and then a week later you would go, everything's available at launch. So
plus, I don't think it's going to be where they could remove your platinum trophy. You know what I mean? I platinum Super Stardust, but now we released 5 more trophies.
That would be a bunch of crap, and there would be upheaval, mutiny on the bounty.
I would
social upheaval.
Drive down to Super Stardust HQ
and Super Stardust
and they would get a Stern talking to.
Oh, where's the sequel to that game, by the way?
Huh?
Where's the sequel to that game? I want a sequel to Super Stardust.
Do you?
More plans.
I want a sequel to Calling the Cars.
There you go.
And Patapon. And I want Patapon on the PS3.
There it is.
And I want trophies
snap!
So finishing up on the 2.4 stuff, in case anybody isn't totally following along with what games have achievements and all that kind of stuff, just to get this out there.
Trophies.
Sorry, trophies. It's Thursday. My daughter got me up 3 times in the middle of the night last night, including 4 a.m. and 3 a.m. and 1 a.m. That was good. Anyway, so right now, Super Stardust is the only game that has it. Pixel Junk Eden is coming out in a few weeks. They say early August. That will have it. That'll be the first game that at its launch is going to have trophies. Mm-hmm. Then all major first-party titles for the remainder of the year, which includes NBA 09 and Resistance 2 and
Little Big Planet
and SOCOM and MotorStorm. All those games are all going to have trophies built in. And then a bunch of third-party stuff. BioShock apparently is going to have trophies. And then going back games that are already out is that Burnout is adding trophies. Pain is going to get an update. Warhawk's going to get an update.
But these are all a ways off, I think, because Burnout's next update won't have it. Warhawk's next update won't have it.
Yeah.
So Eden will only be a few weeks away, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
August, yeah.
Early August, is it?
That's what the press release said, but it didn't have a specific date for it.
Gotcha.
So
that's right.
I think I know from the way that I know on the PlayStation Network. So there's a difference between the Xbox Live releases and PlayStation stuff. Is if you make a game for Xbox Live, you basically have a release window, and you say Microsoft says you can release it on July 30th or whatever, and you say okay, and if you miss your window, all of a sudden you have to wait until the next opening, which could be 3 months later. On the PlayStation Network, it's as soon as your game gets approved, it goes up on the network the next Thursday. So basically, right whenever the game is done, we're going to see it the next week, and so they predict that it'll be done in a couple weeks. So that's how that part works.
It can sometimes be pulled, or it can be push back an extra week or so, depending upon testing or some other standards that they have.
So that's one of the reasons that a lot of times you don't know when a game's coming out on the PlayStation Network is because they don't set dates. They give them to you as fast as the games are done, which is awesome, but it also makes it hard to kind of follow along and have be exactly prepared for when a game's coming out. You just kind of have to hope that it hits that day. But so anyways, there you go. So that's all the Tufo stuff to go along with Fitty.
Tufo and 5-0. Ratchet.
Yeah, boy.
It's back.
Oh, it's back. All right. Do we have any sort of PSN update stuff for today? I want to mention one specific update piece for today. Because this is fantastic for me. I tried to download it before the podcast went on.
Okay.
Going on the PS3 today and 360 in case you have that and are listening to this don't have a PS3. Activision is releasing for Guitar Hero 3 to celebrate 4th of July the theme to Top Gun.
Dude, I'm gone.
It's the greatest thing of all time. The Top Gun theme on Guitar Hero 3. I'm sold.
Permission to buzz the tower.
Yes.
Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Well, he had that right there.
Hells yes! What you doing, Mav? Come on, man. This isn't good.
But so I'm super excited for that.
Goose
Hopefully,
is dead.
Spoilers. Hopefully, when this podcast is open,
wrapped around his neck.
All these lines.
that
Ryan
happened in the movie.
I'm in the middle of a lagoon.
all
the
these
director's
lines.
cut?
Ryan has no idea what we're talking about because he hasn't seen the
You
movie.
never seen Top Gun?
I think I have. I don't
Oh my
remember.
God!
He hasn't seen the movie.
No.
Based in World War
Ryan.
II. There's these two pilots, Goose and Maverick.
World War II.
Yeah.
Oh
What? That
God!
doesn't sound
Jester.
right.
Yeehaw! Jester's dead.
Top Gun.
A kamikaze
Seriously.
pilot
I will
hits
add it
Goose's
to my
plane.
eventual Netflix.
That's
queue.
one of those. Top Gun's
Cute.
one of those movies that you never actually watch for the first time. It just is born into you when you come out, and then when you watch it for technically the first time, it's actually your second time because you've already known what's happening in the movie.
Epic fail.
So
Ryan
So I
is
don't
officially
understand how you've
communist.
never actually completely absorbed this film into your consciousness.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Ryan
It's one
is
of
a
it's one of those
communist.
movies.
Must be because I'm a communist. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Anyway, Top Gun theme coming. Jeff, what else we got?
Well, according to the blog next scroll, today is going to be the. Today is going to be the second issue of Core. So
Good God, does anybody know what's in that thing?
the biggest thing that we were able to find out is that the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm demo will be included in that.
Awesome. So people
outside
that
of
don't have
that-
it can't play that demo. Good job,
Is that how it
Sony
is?
and Namco.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently.
You
Outside of that, like
meanies.
it's still kind of a mystery as to what's in it.
Maybe it'll be in stunning
supposedly-
HD.
Yeah, it could be. Supposedly, for this upcoming week, though, on the PlayStation blog, there will be pre-E3 developer interviews, and there will also be articles on upcoming added trophy titles to games for the PS3.
Yeah.
That should be coming next week.
There we go. That's what we got.
50.
Zombie Blogneck has spoken. That means it's time for mail call.
Mail
Mailbag.
Chain mail?
Mail
Maelstrom.
female.
Mail pattern.
Mail
Malnutrition.
50.
Mail pigeon.
Mail pattern
Mail.
baldness.
Malice. Malnutrition.
Boner James.
Nope.
That's all I got.
Prostitution.
All right, right here at the stop. At the stop.
stop?
This top. Is a
Still working the bugs out after 50.
Yeah. We have not perfected this podcast by any means, even after 50 tries.
Or benefiting.
No way. Black Mantle says, it's been clarified by people at Konami, such as Ryan Payton, that Metal Gear Solid 4 is not necessarily the last game in the Metal Gear franchise.
Yeah.
It's the last solid
Correct.
piece. So he says, does this mean that a fifth chapter may come to light on the PS3, just like Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater followed its predecessor, or do you think that Konami will hold off until the next evolution of consoles are out?
No.
Yeah, no, it's coming out on the PS3.
Yeah, it's
There's
definitely.
there's no way they're going to wait X number of, say it takes them as long to get the next game out. It's not a launch title, so it takes them a year or so into the next things. That means you're talking about 5 years from now for another Metal Gear game. There's no way.
No, I already talked to Kojima like a couple times, as well as Ryan, and specifically they're thinking about different stories. It's not going to have Snake in it, but most likely
Not even as the villain.
Yeah, but most likely it'll be something like Raiden or Meryl or some other character, or possibly a new character. Depending, there've been rumors that it could be prequels. It could also be adventures of some of these other characters at different
Psychomantis.
times within
Let's
their
get Johnny
their
in
life.
there.
So who
Psychomantis.
knows?
I want to play a game of Psychomantis.
That would be interesting.
But yeah, I mean, like it definitely would not be as long as a new generation.
Let's get
of
Johnny.
consoles.
No, we all heard you. No,
You know-
we do not want to play as Johnny.
Johnny's
You know, it'd be kind
awesome.
of sick.
No.
I think is having a one-off Metal Gear game where it's not one character that you follow through, but it's multiple chapters. You have like the X in Metal Gear Solid 4, and then each part's like 2 or 3 hours long, and you play one character and do the stuff there. So you have one thing that's like 3 hours playing with Psycho Mantis up to this part. Then the next act has Meryl or whatever, and it shows her between 1 and 4 what she's doing there. And then you have like the next act is some other character, and so you get all these little snippets and backstories of a lot of the characters to kind of flesh it out. And then you go on and you make some other game that only stars Raiden or whatever. I think that'd be kind of a neat idea. Fill in a bunch of gaps with one title.
And it culminates with Metal Gear.
I would really like to play as Raiden when he culminated into his awesomeness that you see in Metal Gear Solid 4.
How do you culminate into awesomeness?
Oh, well,
I'd like
clearly
to play
Raiden did.
as Hal
Wouldn't it be
Otacon when he culminates
hack
at the end of the game and just smashes Sunny. He just beats her to death with his bare hands. What an ending! I did not see that coming as the ending of Metal Gear Solid 4. And he opens the refrigerator and shoves her head in and just slams the door. And he says, "This is how you make eggs." Egg salad.
Huh.
To spoil ours.
You have a messed up perception of the ending.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, boy.
David
boy.
Doel says, in case you don't already plan on doing it, I'd just like to hear your detailed impressions, good and bad, of your time with SOCOM Confrontation. Jeff?
The game looks good. I mean, the build that we played at the event in Vegas was alpha. It was a little bit post-alpha milestone. It looks good. There's still some issues, primarily with lag, and with some of the network stuff. Like, they don't have it fully fleshed out, so there are moments where, depending the level architecture drops out, you see a lot of character warping, stuff like that. But once you actually get into a stable environment with everything, it's really, really good, really solid. A lot of like just fast-paced fragging. The cool thing about the respawn, especially because most SOCOM players will play like one shot, one kill, you're out for the next round, or till the next round. The respawn works pretty well. The only thing that I think I would say right now is that some of the animations still need a little work. Like, if you decide to throw a frag grenade in to just do like a preliminary breach and clear, you should be able to throw a grenade in and automatically switch to your primary weapon, instead of have the character go back through the animation of reaching for another grenade and then putting the grenade back and then reaching for his gun again.
Gotcha.
Because his hands are empty, so you might as well just like chain that all together.
Yeah.
But supposedly they're working on that. It still looks good, and all the videos that we have of it are up live on the site right now.
Awesome-o. Continuing on the SOCOM tip, Passions of Shorty says, with the recent news of SOCOM Confrontation, with I guess it getting pushed back, do you think that Sony and Slant 6 are a little late on this boat? It says, with the great achievements of Call of Duty 4, Battlefield, Bad Company, and to a certain extent Metal Gear Solid 4, he's talking about online, and games like Resistance 2, Killzone 2, Mercs 2, which some of these games aren't online. Anyway, he says, do you feel that Sony has lost its grip on what they greatly dominated in the last-gen category?
No.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
None of these games are like Confrontation.
Yeah, and especially because, like, Confrontation, like, a lot of the community stuff that they're doing, aside from the fact that the SOCOM community is huge, they've got a ton of stuff. I mean, they're going to be doing, like, weekly tournaments, not only between countries and regions of like, countries, but global, too, along with the clan ladders and everything else. They've got a huge amount of stuff planned for online.
Yeah, so there you go. Touring 3D says, which do you guys think will be the better game overall? Resistance 2 or Fallout 3?
Ooh.
Tricky.
Nice.
Habanero.
That's tricky.
I'm going to say Resistance 2, and I will say it because I think multiplayer and the fact that that'll never be the same experience over and over again. Whereas, like, even if I played Fallout a million times, I'm eventually just going to start seeing the same stuff over and over again. I think length of use would be longer with Resistance 2.
That's possible. I'd probably say like Fallout, and the only reason why is because I've seen Fallout. I haven't really seen.
True. No. Yeah.
That's the thing.
But,
Yeah.
like,
I like. Don't get me wrong. Fallout's awesome. And I can't wait to play it. But
But like what I've seen of Fallout and what I've like had conversations with Pete Hines about from Bethesda.
Here,
like,
name dropper.
Last
night I hung out with Katie Miller. What do you think of that?
Yeah. All right,
Katie Miller.
The Katie Miller.
Yep.
But like there's so much that they're deciding to throw in there that's gonna just harken back to the original PC days. It's gonna be phenomenal.
I'm gonna place my bets by a slight margin on Fallout here because I'm a big fan of games that have those giant holy crap moments. And like when I saw the Fallout 3 demo at last year's E3 and they nuke that one town,
That was awesome.
like
that
is
awesome.
absolutely incredible.
That and the portable nuke launcher.
Well, but I mean, that thing's cool, but it's not the holy crap moment I'm talking about of like nuking an entire town.
Yeah,
true. And I think Fallout can have more of those than Resistance. I'm not saying it won't, and my slight bet is going on Fallout, but I mean,
Clements, hedge your bets.
I could agree with that, but I think I'll go with Resistance too.
Damn right you will.
Oh, we missed it. One more.
Oh, what?
Yes.
You got to do that in honor of the Top Gun theme. You got to do it all the way around.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to do that.
Well, you have to angle
I'm not
yourself
doing
more.
it. It's
All
okay.
right.
Yeah.
You missed it with
Epic
your
fail.
constant micromanagement.
Whatever. You just
PS2
suck.
Muse says that now that MGS4 is out of the way, I wouldn't call it out of the way.
It's done. It's forking it.
Which upcoming PS3 exclusive are you guys looking forward to the most? This ranges to as of yet unannounced games like God of War 3, which is announced as well.
Ooh.
My pick, I got to go with slight edge over God of War 3, is Gran Turismo 5.
Jeff.
Ooh, nice. What would I pick?
Yeah.
Including something that hasn't even been announced yet?
Well, stuff that you would assume is going to come.
I would assume that there'd be a Sly Cooper coming somewhere from Sucker Punch after Infamous.
So that's your pick.
Did you say this year or next?
No,
or anytime?
he just said anything.
In general.
anything.
Your next one. What's your most?
Anything.
First party or third?
Oh my.
Exclusive. PS3 exclusive.
Final Fantasy 13.
There you go.
Or
Infamous.
Versus.
I want to see how that goes.
Good picks all around. I Am Akin says, Beyond the Beyond!
Beyond!
Have any of you heard anything pertaining to a multi-platform release for Diablo 3? Yes. It is coming to PC and Mac.
Yes.
Oh.
No console releases are planned for that, which is kind of a shame because that game would work perfectly as a console. I mean, look at Baldur's Gate on PS2. That game was good, and same deal. Could be awesome.
Yeah, Mac.
Yeah, get up.
Crazy.
HB Guy 311 says, can we ever expect load times as fast as Wii on the PS3? Why can't all devs shorten load times? Why are some better than others at it? I know PS3 is more powerful than Wii, but last-gen GCN games loaded faster than PS2 games, so what gives? Here's the deal. The Wii has terrible graphics. Therefore, you only have to load like 3 textures to show the entire world. The PS3, you got to load all kinds of like normal maps. You got to load like the base texture. You got to load specular maps. You got to load all these pieces of animation.
Per pixel leatherization diffusion.
Per pixel leatherization diffusion maps. All of these things add up to stuff you have to load. So you have to load way more stuff for a PS3 scene than you do on the Wii.
Yeah, boy.
But drive speeds are about the same. So if you're talking, way less stuff to load on the Wii, obviously it's going to be faster. There you go.
There you go. Served.
Black Mantle, back again on episode 50.
50?
Says, when is the PS3 greatest hits lineup coming to America? That's a damn good question.
Never.
E3 may tell us this.
Ooh, nice.
I'm hoping that at E3, Sony says we're going to launch the greatest hits things. About damn time. Put games like Resistance on there, be perfect.
It's a good idea.
The sequel coming out, put MotorStorm on there, perfect with MotorStorm 2
Maybe they could
coming out.
actually have a whole software lineup including PSN games. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that would actually be good. Put PSN games on a disc.
Yeah.
I think that if it doesn't get announced at E3, it'll be announced this fall to have games like I just mentioned to coincide with like a month or two before the other ones. I think it's gonna be a huge misstep if that doesn't happen. But who knows? Look at Sony's
I
history.
doubt Sony would ever make a misstep.
Yeah.
That's just crazy talk.
Here's an interesting name. LLDCK14. It says Lytic, which if you say that
Chronicles
longer
of Lytic.
is too naughty for this show. It says, this is sort of off topic, but here goes. I've always wanted to make it out to a video games convention. E3 was what I wanted to visit, but from what I understand, it's press only now, which is always actually, it's always been industry only. What other game conventions other than TGS would you recommend that are open to the public, and how would you go about getting tickets for this event? Okay, thanks, bye. So the E for All in the fall-ish area is open to the public, but that thing sucks.
PAX?
PAX is probably the best one to go to.
Comic-Con if you like nerd comic book
And there's
video games.
some stuff at Comic-Con.
And if you like spending money, you could always fly over to Germany and go to Leipzig.
Yeah. So if you can't leave the States, PAX up in the Washington area, somewhere Seattle or whatever it is probably the best one because you're going to see stuff that a lot of the stuff for us we've seen at other shows, but you're going to see a lot of games that aren't out yet, and there should be lots of cool stuff. And then they also have bands and stuff to play. So that's probably your best thing to go to. And then for tickets, go to Read Penny Arcade.
Call
I
your
guess
ticket
The interwebs.
Yeah. Go read go look on there.
Call Andre Segers. Look at you.
There you go. Underscore pencils underscore says.
Good name.
When 2.4 releases in the future, past, because it already happened and then it got taken away, are we going to automatically receive trophies for things we've already accomplished in games pre 2.4 release? We've already gone over this to say some, very little.
9 for a line.
Neo Tsunami says, hey guys, with the rumors of a 360 price drop looking more confirmed than home being released this year, do you think it's possible that Sony's going to follow suit and announce a price drop for the PS3?
Ooh.
I think it has to, even though Sony's down, $3.3 billion so far?
Right.
I think it's got to lose some more money.
It could, but the upswing is that if the games start coming out, they could wind up making more on the price drop than they expect. That could be a plus.
Yeah. So probably, we'll see when that happens. E3, who knows? Pseudo Prime 1979, Fitty says, with the chaos at LucasArts, should I still be excited for Star Wars Force Unleashed or not?
I find your lack of faith
Roper and I have both played
disturbing.
these games.
We played Force Unleashed about a week or so ago.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I think it's
fun.
gonna be a solid run around, kill everybody with my lightsaber, and crush them and choke them, and that's
I
gonna be
agree
fun.
with
And choke him and beat Sonny over the head with his fists.
Like we said,
Wow, Ryan,
you
you
find
just
your
took
lack
it
of
to a
faith
level.
disturbing.
We didn't need it there.
But
I'm just
no,
saying.
game looks cool. Be
They
excited for
hinted
it.
at it.
Should be good. Darth Bryan says, Greg, on an earlier podcast, you mentioned that you were going to get the 360 version of Ghostbusters for the achievements. If Ghostbusters supports trophies, will you change your mind and pick up the PS3 version instead?
That's right. It's a call out.
Well, since the last time we did this, it was announced that I am officially reviewing Ghostbusters, so I'll be playing them on all platforms. If the thing was that unless this game is terrible, I was planning on playing it on both platforms no matter what. But I'll for sure try to get the 1,000 on the achievements and now all the trophy if it supports trophies, which I have my feelers out trying to figure out right now. So don't worry, fans. I'll let you know when I know. Anyways, yeah, I'd play both. I'm gonna play both, unless it's terrible. Then no.
Your feelers.
Well,
are
I guess if
creepy.
I'm reviewing it, I'm playing them both no matter what.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, if
You
I
know
was.
you like his
Right,
feelers.
but if you're gonna say you play through the game
Yeah.
and you play through both of them, but then you want to hunt for like the crazy stuff,
Yeah.
Which one are you gonna go for?
I'm gonna do both, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's trophy enabled and I know certain things about the game. I will be writing about it soon. As far as achievements and accomplishments, trophies, but not trophies probably. As far as just achievements now that we're speaking about, there is going to be huntable stuff or whatever. They've said that before too.
Right.
So I'm gonna do both no matter what, because unless it's terrible.
There you go.
I like the gear.
Last question for episode 50 is AZN Boy Wonder says Beyond.
Beyond.
What do you guys think about EA's decision to make Rock Band 2 a limited exclusive for the 360?
Boo!
I think it's stupid because the Guitar Hero World Tour has more features, it's a stronger title, better peripherals. Also, they would be losing out on sales to PS3 and Wii owners. What do you guys think?
Thing sucks.
In case anybody doesn't know, Electronic Arts is going to be publishing Rock Band 2 for the 360 in September, with a PS3 and other platform releases slated for later in the year, which we're going to assume means November. So 360 probably has at least a month, probably 2 lead time on the PS3 release, which is a bunch of crap.
Yes. Yes,
So-
it is.
It is a sad day.
Asian Boy Wonder, I am pissed with you because I actually own the PS3 version of Rock
dummy.
Band. No, I'm not, and you know why? Because
Why
I've
is that?
got all the storage for it. I don't have to pay like $100 for whatever it is.
All I use my
40 extra
360s
freaking
for is Rock
gigs.
Bands. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, but
Now
I've
who's
got the
laughing?
space,
Me.
and I like playing
Every
it on
night in
PS3
September, I'm gonna put the
'cause I
phone.
support
I'm gonna
the
call
system I
you.
write
Just
for,
play
fool.
my songs.
I support the system I write for.
I do too. I just said
But-
I'm Ghostbusters.
That just
Rock
pisses
Band
me
2
off
trophies.
that they decided to do it. Yeah, Rock Band 2 trophies. Suck it,
No,
Beyond.
it's too late. I already have too much invested in 360.
Yeah.
This is my complaint. I blogged about this. I don't know if I ever talked about it on the show actually. Is that I finished whatever Xbox game and I was like, oh, GTA or whatever. I'm not finished with it, but it's like whatever. And I have it on PS3 as well. So it's one of those things where I was thinking about seriously selling my library now that PS3 is basically caught up and we're getting everything, if not at the same time, but at the same quality. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
And I'm not too excited for any of the Microsoft exclusives coming up this year, other than Fable 2. So I was considering, just getting rid of it and just start investing there. But the problem is that I've already put so much money into Rock, and it's not a problem. But the thing is that I've already put so much money into Rock Band that I wouldn't feel like going and getting my songs again and then having to buy the equipment again and buying the game and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or working my way back through for the progress that we made in Band World Tour. So right now my Xbox is the Dead Rising Rock Band machine.
There it is.
And hopefully, you know,
Exclusive Dead
if
Rising
Capcom ever
Rock,
gets it together and announces Dead Rising 2, it'll be coming to PS3 as well.
Yep.
Man, if they have a zombie blog neck hidden character in that game, man,
they got to do that.
That's what I'm talking about.
We should pitch that to them.
Money
There
Hat.
it
Then we can't review the game.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be a little bit of a problem. But if you could like custom name a character, whatever,
There you
name
go.
him zombie
Name
blog.
all the zombies.
Zombie blog.
There he goes. There we go. So that's the end of the mail call. Fitty.
Mail call.
Chainmail Fitty.
It's over.
Let's do the PSN hit now.
Dude.
Episode 50 is a special one.
It is.
PSN hit.
Fitty.
The hit should be on 50.
50.
Okay.
If there's some guy named 50, that's who it is.
Fitty anything or
Either FIFTY or numeral 50
or Fitty.
or Fitty. If you however you want to spell it,
Like Kitty.
FITTY.
Yeah, like Kitty
Yeah, anything like that.
with a fit.
Fitty, 50, whatever, 50, 5-0, 5-0, that works. Any enumeration of
Capital.
50 is good.
Deal.
Well,
You've been
that's
targeted by the PSN hit.
Fitty.
Fitty.
Editor beatdown for this week. We have no work tomorrow because
Fitty
it's 4th
beatdown.
of July in
Yeah.
the United
Yeah.
States.
It'll have to be next week.
So we're going to be blowing things up and eating hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yep.
And drinking beer.
And playing Top Gun theme on Guitar Hero.
Except for Ryan.
Yeah, except for Ryan because
Don't
he's
eat the hamburgers.
never seen Top Gun.
Or,
And you don't eat hamburgers. You can get like turkey.
You can be
I get a
you can
turkey
be my
burger.
There you
wingman
go.
anytime. Come on, dude.
So
Why is that snake so good smell? It's
So,
suffocating him.
so no editor beatdown this week, but
No Fitty.
I will see.
We'll try to post it on Monday
Yeah.
evening, afternoon.
Yeah, we'll see what's happening next week. TBD on that one. Next week is also the last week before E3. Craziness will likely ensue, or Silent Before the Storm. We don't know which one it's going to be. Maybe we'll do editor beatdown, maybe we won't. Ryan, do you have tournament winners to announce?
Yes, a special one because Provo Fan 9 won with Call of Duty 4 on our 50th episode. I'd say that's an accomplishment. So congratulations, Provo Fan 9. On the 28th of last month.
What game did he play?
Call of Duty 4.
Thank you.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
Fitty.
Oh, the
right.
claps
It's
keep coming.
The
out.
other Fitty.
No, it's ready.
Yeah,
No,
boy.
we should do the wave. I'm doing it right now.
Hey.
Oh, wait, I did it wrong.
I'm not getting up.
Oh,
I'm the guy who ruins it for everybody else.
I hate the wave, but if
Just
I
let
start
me
it, I
enjoy
like
the
it.
game, everybody, all right?
I like it if I start it.
Yeah. Otherwise, I actually do the reverse wave. I try to be like, maybe I don't know, the coral or whatever would like screw the wave up. I like go down in my seat.
You're the trough.
Yeah, I like drop out. Negative support for the wave, if you were. I should actually bring fish or like a little surfboard, and like when you're at a game and like move the surfboard along and look kind of rad on TV. You get on there.
That would be sweet.
That's my new thing. Nobody steal it. So
Trademark Chris Roper, 2008.
I think that's
You had to say 1995
I
or
was
something?
about to say like 1990 to 2008. Like so, there's a span of time because
Gotcha.
you usually have to.
It's like, wow, Jeff is really off on the year today.
No, that's just usually how those things go. You've got a span of time.
that brings us to the end of episode 50. I think.
I
Unless
don't
there's anything else
believe
that we anything else anybody wants to add to this thing?
You want to reminisce at all? Huh? 50 episodes, Roper.
Yeah, you
Can you
Reminiscing.
believe it?
50
Reminisce.
decades.
This could be the around the room reminiscence.
There you go.
of
Ryan.
Ryan,
Reminisce.
reminisce song. Do it.
Fitty.
A reminisce song?
Do it. Little theme
for the
song.
room.
Come on, the theme. Reminisce
58.
theme.
Fitty.
Reminiscing about the podcast.
Beyond Fitty?
There we go. Reminiscing. All right.
There we go. Now
let's
we're
let's
reminiscing.
reminisce.
Let's
Do it.
reminisce.
Do it.
When IGN announced they were doing channel-specific podcasts, I thought it was the dumbest idea I had ever heard.
As did I.
Man, I did not. I thought no one would listen to this. I thought they'd be boring. I thought we would not have fun with them.
And they are.
And I was right
You're
on
completely
all. I was
right.
right on everything I said. But no, I'm surprised. I'm really pleasantly surprised it's gone this far. I thank the listeners. I mean,
Yep.
it
Hey,
really.
we've got people with ringtones of
It's
Beyond.
it's really weird. Like the other day, I had one of those moments where it was like a step back of how awkward it was that every time I sign on to the PSN, I have 5 requests from somebody saying Beyond.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, a lot of people are probably getting cranky. I'm no longer accepting random Beyonds. You have to
Beyond?
now, and I will check this. So don't try to cheat the system. But I'm only accepting SingStar friend requests now. So if you send it with SingStar in the thing, I'll accept you. But I will go in and check if you have a SingStar profile. And if you don't, then you're getting booted.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I'm-
That's
hey,
that's throwing the hammer
very
down.
I man, I like having the SingStar
You only
friends
have
now.
100
and it's
Beyond
slots.
Hammer.
Yep.
Oh,
you
it's,
gotta.
no, I'm probably already down to 40.
Yeah.
It fills up fast. Roper, come on. What's your favorite moment from the podcast Beyond?
Oh man. See, my thing is, I've been here for close to 6 years now, and so the job starts blending together. And I can't remember one thing from one day to the next
Dunham used to host it, and we used to be down the hall in a
I
different
remember
room.
Dunham used to host it, and I hate this room.
Okay.
The other room used to be much better.
Yeah, the other room was.
And luckily, equipment usually works these days. Didn't used to work.
Yeah, it never worked in the beginning.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to use it either.
We know how to use it.
Everything we'd have to go get Damon every time.
The whole show used to be made up. Now we actually have a list that Ryan prints out every week. And
whatever popped into our heads, we did.
Yeah. So I mean.
And then I joined, and everything went downhill from there.
We've come a long way in terms of how the show is put together, but it doesn't make it any better because we're still no good at it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is one of my favorite parts of the job is just getting in here because there's no. There's not really like a deadline to it, and there's no like I don't have to worry about making sure everything's absolutely perfect, and I don't have to worry about all of these other facets. My phone can't ring while I'm in here and all those sorts of things. So I like being in here just talking.
Yeah, it's
talking
cool.
about games. I mean that's the reason I got here was the reason I started working at IGN was to talk about games and like tell people about them and all kinds of stuff. And that's exactly what this allows you to do without any of the crap that's attached to the job normally. So
I mean, I'm sure it comes across in the way we act
games.
Hang out on the podcast, but I mean, this is who we really are. This is how we all talk. I mean, these are the conversations we have on the way to the mall.
Yeah.
Except maybe we'll talk about Dark Knight more.
Yeah.
And we're not censored.
You guys
well, yeah, I curse like a sailor.
A lot more.
Yeah, we
a lot
do.
of physical beatings.
Yeah.
Of me.
Clements?
Yeah.
Favorite moment, Ryan? What'd you think? How's this been treating you? How many episodes you been on? You think? When did you start?
I started around episode 4 or 5.
Okay.
You guys had a couple episodes under your belt already when I came onto the show. And that was when
you didn't
Jeremy
talk, of
was
course, till episode 15.
Yes.
That's
yeah. So actually, it was more like around 27 that I started.
That's
I
when you hit your groove. Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I just started.
And then all of a
running.
sudden, you started singing.
I ran with it. Yeah, and then I would substitute for Greg. That was stressful. I'm trying to think. I remember. Well, actually, one of my favorite moments was. Actually, we can't discuss it because it was an edited part of one of the
podcast?
Of one
or
of
two
the recent podcasts. I think that
I mentioned it on GameScoop. Like I think as long as we cut out the who it was and what exactly was.
Yes.
We've already talked. A listener had written in about a question, and I proceeded to make fun of his family for the rest of the podcast. In ways that, in hilarious, horrible ways. That was
brutal.
That one, I've never seen Chris Roper go, "That's out of control," and stop the podcast.
To be fair, we didn't stop the podcast.
No, we kept recording.
We kept recording.
From my masterful
we kept rolling,
editing.
and then went back and thought about it and said, "That can't happen."
Well, but then I did talk to the reader afterwards, and he would have been fine with all of it. So I was happy that my gut was right on the fact that the podcast beyond listeners would have supported it and understand the good humor and all my terrible jokes at this person's loved ones. But
yeah,
it was still awesome.
Yeah. You know what? I do have to say one of my favorite moments of the podcast beyond history was having David Hayter calling.
I was going to say
that was really awesome.
Yeah.
That was a great interview. He's a really cool guy. I like talking to him.
Yeah, and the fact that we got a message from some guy a couple weeks ago or last week or whatever, who said he had to finally delete the
voicemail.
Yeah, the voicemail that David recorded. And because his parents were getting freaked out by it or whatever.
Yeah, it was too creepy for his parents.
That's pretty. I like the fact that somebody wrote in, asked David to do it. He was awesome and did it for us, and then people were taking it and actually, just the whole thing goes.
The guy who
full
did his
circle.
ringtone, who did the mail call for his ringtone on his iPhone.
Yeah.
The kids who do the YouTube videos that like when we put together songs. There was one for a while. I'm not sure if it's still up because Wikipedia changes so much. There was someone on Wikipedia who was recording every song we did and what it was and what exactly happened and stuff like that. That was pretty amazing. That people take it that seriously, and that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Facebook groups I know exist. That's pretty cool. So yeah, huge props to everybody for listening. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I didn't know we have the Facebook groups. Huh,
yeah, there's. I'm an officer in it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Check that out.
So
I'd probably say Dylan. Dylan coming on. That was
he was
pretty good.
fun.
We've had some really good guests on there.
Not only the start of the guest that we had, but he jumped into our madness like there was absolutely nothing wrong. Like he'd been part of the show from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's sweet. I mean, I think we terrified the guy that was with the Tomb Raider. I think he'd had
he was so quiet. He had no idea what was happening.
What we were doing or what our insanity was. But
all the
everybody else has been pretty...
All the people we interviewed at GDC for the Crazy Diary.
Yeah.
Brian Keltner I demanded he do Beyond on the spot.
Beyond?
Beyond?
Yep.
Yeah, we've done some pretty random things.
Or all your impromptu interviews during the Judges' Day. When you guys weren't feeling your best.
That was people rail on us for that podcast, and understandably so for that one. But
that one was hard.
Me and Roper had been writing all day long. We were exhausted. We felt like crap, and now we had to interview people about the games we'd just written about. So it's just like, hey, all right, so tell me about MotorStorm. Oh, there's cars in it also.
Yeah.
I think this brings us to the end of the episode, and we were just talking about how we appreciate the readers. And so we have a special song this week. I'm going to let Grego intro this one.
50 episodes ago, a tradition began with 14 words. And those words were, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. It's podcast beyond, oh my God. Ever since then, we have been trying our best to end with a song.
To
something
entertain you.
Crazy, fun. Well, this has been an idea that has been in the podcast beyond system.
Since the beginning.
Since episode.
I think we were going to do it in like episode 10 or something.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 10 originally, and then it was going to be 25, and we just kept, of course, we're podcast beyond, kept pushing
and
it off.
And then we rickrolled you randomly.
We rickrolled, yeah. So this is something that we've been trying to work in forever. We have finally done it with the help of Karaoke Revolution Presents American Idol Encore on the PS3. This is Beyondian Rhapsody.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Quiet landslide.
Beyond.
Escape from reality. Beyond. Open your eyes.
Beyond.
Look up to the skies and see.
I'm just an editor. I need no sympathy, 'cause it's PS3, PSP 2.4, 4.0, and the way the update goes doesn't really matter to me. Sony just 7-9'd again. Put a pen against its head. Clicked my mouse and now it's dead. Sony, its life had just begun. But now I've gone and thrown it all away. Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time next Thursday, go beyond, go beyond.
As if limits really matters.
Too late. My time has come.
Beyond.
Send shivers down my blog. Dunham's crying all the time. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Gotta leave you all behind and face the boards. Oh no. Sony, the update goes. The PS2 won't die. I sometimes wish we never podcast at
No female.
Read about.
I see a PSN profile of a man.
Scaramouche, will you do the background download? Thunderbolts and lightning, they're very frightening to me.
Pat up on. Pat up on.
I'm just an editor, nobody.
He's just an editor from the PlayStation team. Where is his life from this monstrosity?
Easy come, easy go, will you let me go?
Beyond, we will not let you go. Not let you go. Beyond, we will not let you go. beyond. We will not let you go. Will not let you go. Will not let you go. No, 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 no. Sony mia, Sony mia, Sony mia, let me go. That tragic guy has a devil put aside for me, for me, for me.
So you think you can come and then spin my heart? So you think you can spell us and leave us to die? Oh, readers, can't do this to us, readers. Just cut it out, just cut it right out of here.
Beyond.
Other shows don't matter.
Beyond.
Anyone can see. Other shows don't matter. Other shows don't matter to me. Beyond.
Beyond.
Anyway, the update goes.
The Invariable Gestalt Negation Project. Your little science fair attraction that's been snaking through the web for over 10 years.
And there you have it. Now we're not having any more problems with our communication.
15 years ago, a founding member of your organization came across some unique research. Documents that led her to believe that the primary psychological components governing the human mind were intrinsically unbalanced. In other words, human perception was deliberately masked. Scientists referred to it as Athena's veil. The key was in a series of pre-programmed thought chains found in almost every normal human brain, inhibiting full mental capacity.
Well, aren't you just a regular scholar?
I only remembered the important bits.
I'm sure.
Your founder wasn't satisfied, though, to find such horrifying evidence and do nothing about it. Well, she just wasn't the type. So she began conducting her own studies. Using money siphoned off industry earnings, she was able to put together quite a show, from what I understand.
It was a thing of beauty.
No doubt. And after 3 years of tireless efforts, they finally came to an incredible conclusion. The thought chains could be broken. Imagine that. By inserting a subconscious behavioral trigger, chains would collapse in on themselves and unlock whatever it was they were holding so tightly. But the tests went sour. The subjects didn't take too kindly to the experiments, and their sanity was shattered. Each and every subject destroyed by the procedures intended to free them. Chilling, isn't it?
I'm shaking in my boots.
After an embarrassing number of failures, it dawned on her. The change was too rapid and too narrow. The amazing thing about the thought chains was the way they resonated. It was almost telepathic. If an adjustment had to be made, it had to be communal. It had to be everyone.
Don't stop there. You're getting to the good part.
A year later, the answer came to her, weaving a coded set of words and key phrases into pop culture mediums and having it dispersed slowly over the unknowing populace. It's just like something out of a hastily written science fiction. And the front runner to her grand design, IGN, invariable gestalt negation. Undoing the unchanging psyche, a seemingly impossible task realized in shaded glory. And now, after 10 years of unchecked growth, here we are.
Interesting indeed, Mr. Clements.
And there you have it. Everything you wanted to know. Everything you already knew. Do you feel satiated?
Not just yet, friend. You don't think we let people like you waltz out of here after spilling a can of worms that big, do you? Do you know how many bright and upcoming young hopefuls saw the end of the road because they found out the same things?
Ooh, scary stuff.
You don't know the half of it, and no one else will either. Johnson's already gone through the behavioral conditioning and vocal surgery. The plastic bit's coming later, but no worries there. No one will ever know you're gone. You'll be a spot of mud washed out in the laundry. IGN can carry on with its plots, and we can call it a day.
You're forgetting one thing.
Am I now?
I don't usually wear a watch.
Come again.
This isn't really a traditional timepiece. It's recording our little discussion, and it's very good at what it does.
Is that it then? You think making a tape of this is going to get you anywhere?
Oh, my tech has long since transcended little tapes. It's already finished uploading the sound files and converted them into unmarked data packets. A few weeks from now, the data will activate and embed itself covertly somewhere on this very site. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. You certainly can't shut everything down either. Not at this stage. You're trapped.
You're bluffing.
Maybe I am. It could just be a ruse to keep me alive.
I don't fancy that, because you're already dead.
So I am. Good night, good sweet prince.
Interesting stuff. We'll see you next week on Podcast Beyond.